Hey everyone, before this one starts, I just want to say I have a lot less Star Wars knowledge than I do Halo knowledge, so if there's anything incorrect in this video, feel free to comment what that is. I would appreciate the help. I also had a lot less to say at the end about my opinion because, again, as I said, I have much less knowledge on Star Wars than I do Halo. But I still think this is a good video. I think you should watch it. You know, I'm not biased or anything. I didn't make it or anything. Okay, I'll relinquish it to Mark from the past before the last video blew up and got me to 300 subscribers in a week. Insanity. Imposing, heavily shielded, and a vicious instrument of destruction, the Fury-class Imperial Interceptor was forged to serve the vengeful spirit of the Sith. The Fury's ultimate purpose? Attack with sudden ferocity, decimate Republic fleets, and pursue the crippled enemy to their grave. A symbol of the destructive might of the Sith, the Fury continues to strike fear into the hearts of Republic pilots throughout the galaxy. Welcome back to Gamma Company Mark. Welcome to another ship breakdown, and my first Star Wars video on the channel. Today we'll be looking at my favorite Star Wars ship of them all, the Fury-class Imperial Interceptor from the MMO Star Wars The Old Republic. All information comes from the Old Republic official encyclopedia, because that's the only source for Old Republic ships. If you like the video after you watch it, please subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I fell sick in the midst of recording this, so apologies if that is noticeable. Good God. The Fury class was the ship most favored by the Sith and their apprentices during the Great War, in the era of the Old Republic. Originally, the Fury class were simply military interceptors, although they were likely very effective in their own right. Throughout the Empire, Sith Lord scientists and inventors were always seeking new, crueler ways to draw out and amplify the dark side of the Force, chiefly by causing suffering and death on an ever-increasingly grand scale. Thus was the mindset of Sith Lord Darth Mekis and Grand Moff Kilrin, who personally oversaw the class-wide evolution of the Fury class into the vicious Sith attack vessel we see now. The computer systems, communication network, and weaponry were only the most cutting-edge military-grade equipment available. All comforts, decorations, and amenities have been removed to reflect the callous efficiency of the Sith and maximize their discomfort to more easily facilitate their channeling of the dark side. The Fury class was 100 meters, or 328 feet long, and 88 meters, or 288 feet wide. While the ship is also classified as a transport, that is more due to its ability to act as a mobile base of operations than its ability to carry many troops or personnel. Needing only one pilot to fly, the crew quarters consists of a single room with 6 beds. The captain's quarters are a cramped room with 1 bed, and a screen to display vital mission-oriented information. The cockpit allows for 2 co-pilots, should the need arise. The shielded cockpit is flanked on either side by the thick armor plating protecting its 2 massive sublight engines. The Fury's armament included 4 high-power precision laser cannons and a multi-lock guided payload delivery system, ideal for decimating squadrons of enemy fighters. The ship's modular design also allowed for the integration of an optional proton torpedo modification, making it suitable for destroying fixed turrets and integral systems on enemy ships. Some captains also opted for an electromagnetic pulse generator. The Fury's small size and heavy shielding make it a nigh-insurmountable foe for any single fighter, able to decimate squadrons upon squadrons on their own, while remaining a very real threat to larger ships. In many cases, the only viable option left to enemies of the Fury are to overwhelm her with wings of fighters with support from fixed defense, often still suffering numerous casualties in the form of fighters, and risking damage to escort and lead ships. The Fury's use in skirmishes is evident, its dominance in fleet battles never understated, and its speed and independent capability lend it to use as a competent reconnaissance vessel. With this range and utility, it's no wonder why the Sith Empire made such wide use of this ship throughout the Armada. Darth Mekis described the Fury class as the hammer that will shatter the ribcage of the Republic. Under Sith command, these ships have devastated Republic fleets, relentlessly hunted their Jedi prey throughout the Great War, and stood as a stark reminder of the Sith Empire's brutal potency. The Fury was widely produced and used regularly within the Imperial Armada. Multiple Furies were present for the Battle of Korriban in 3681 BBY, the early days of the Great Galactic War. One of them carried Darth Vindican and his then-apprentice, Darth Malgus. Ships of this class were gifted to Darth Nox and the Emperor's Hand, Sith Inquisitor and Warrior player characters respectively. Even with all we know about the deadliness of the Fury-class Imperial Interceptor, its most stunning endorsement has to be that it was the chosen instrument of an empire born of chaos, strife, and suffering. Between this and the Halberd, you can probably tell a common theme in my favorite ships is that they're fast, maneuverable, they do a lot of damage, but they're not necessarily these unbeatable powerhouse do-everything ships. They're also usually not slow. They don't have... Well, the Halberd does have quite an armament, but that's more of an exception than a rule for a lot of my favorite ships. I also like these sharper designs, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of TIE fighters or TIE interceptors in specific, but I do enjoy this use of that motif, because these wings look like they actually have stuff inside them, because they do. They have rooms, they have the engines inside of these big wing parts. It's not just two, like, tiny metal flaps stuck onto the ship. Thanks for tuning in to yet another ship breakdown. I found that Star Wars ships are harder to break down than Halo ships, because Star Wars leans more into the fantasy than the sci fantasy. I appreciate all the kind words I received on the last one. I really do try to make these as good as I can, and that might lead to a slower upload schedule in this channel, but the main channel will churn out more content, which you can find in the description. I try my best over there too, but it's just that no research has to be done, few scripts have to be written, so those videos come out more often. I stream on that channel and Twitch, so if you're interested in me playing Jedi Fallen Order, KOTOR 1 and 2, some other sci-fi stuff later this year, maybe Halo The Endless, whenever that comes out, feel free to pop over there if you'd like, but other than that, stay tuned here, subscribe if you haven't, and, if you want to. I'll see you in the next one, whether that be another breakdown or something else entirely. Peace.